Speaking of bakers, there's a friend of ours that also starts with a B. Fighting for a transition there that I had to do my best on.
I don't even know where you're going.
We both have a mutual friend named Buddha who wrote a wonderful book, and a book that you had reviewed.
Yes. So if you are watching the channel consistently, you know that I reviewed the Thundercats Omens book that has a complete and absolute guide to the Thundercats toy line, and it is a phenomenal book. We highly recommend it. I'm going to put the linkage right here for you if you want to go check out the book. By all means, if you want to check out the review before that, if you hit that like and subscribe button and all that stuff and look at the channel, you can find it.
Both of us own first printings or first editions of that book.
Yes.
And we fought to go get those. In fact, one of us fought so hard that he wanted to interview Buddha.
As a matter of fact, because you went on a trip.
I did. I went on one fancy trip.
Normally when we're doing stuff for this show, we do it together.
Yes.
But occasionally we go off on our own, and that's actually a future episode that's coming up, a little foreshadowing there. But one of the things you did on that trip that was not the main part of the trip was actually meeting with our friend Buddha, and you actually were able to look at his collection and get an interview with him.
I had a first-person view of how big a collection can actually be.
Now, at the time we're recording this, I didn't see it. How big is his collection?
Yes. I am telling you the truth. There are not. We are contemplating going and taking a look at complete collections. This is the most complete collection I have ever seen, as far as action figures, clothes, things that assemble, or things that are representative of the brand of Thundercats.
Yeah.
I mean, it just a whole encompassing collection, not just a set, not just a series, but everything.
Yeah,
like he legitimately had almost, if not everything, that is national and possibly international. I saw things there that I never even knew existed, or somebody decided just to throw the Thundercat logo on there, but it was vast. It was nice to actually sit down and talk to Buddha, and this interview almost didn't happen because we just kept missing each other. Yeah. I got down to Philadelphia on a Friday night, and he was already booked out for somewhere else. Saturday rolled around, he was booked out for something, and then he had free in the evenings, but my evenings were booked because, I needed to go...
For the main reason you were there.
For the main reason I was there, because I needed to go sit in a ritzy scenario and enjoy myself thoroughly, which I did, and when you're going to find out about. And then Sunday, it was the same situation. He was booked out, and I was previously booked, so we nailed down Monday, and I woke up ridiculously early, without coffee, mind you. All right? I didn't get my first cup of coffee until 20 minutes down the road.
Now, let me just say, for those of you that don't know, Larry's, what word should we use? Addiction to caffeine is fairly extreme.
All right, it is not an addiction. It is not an addiction. What's that thing? It's not a habit.
An obsession?
Not an obsession. A necessity.
I believe they call that addiction, folks.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. You want to be around me after I haven't had my first cup of coffee?
No, because I have been around you when you haven't had your first cup of coffee.
And how'd that turn out for you?
Not too good.
Well, then there you go. It's a necessity, not an addiction. Yes. But anyway, I finally had my first cup of coffee. As you saw in the video, I finally had my coffee sitting there with Buddha. I actually had to go get another one after I was done talking to him. But it was nice to find, to meet him on his own terms. I was afraid that we were going to have to set this interview up somewhere else. I was afraid that, we weren't going to be able to see the collection. So one of the benefits of waiting until the day that I actually had to leave and going to where Buddha hangs out was seeing the entire collection and sitting there and talking with him, and it turned out way better than I expected, as opposed to just sitting there turning a camera on and he and I are in a noisy place somewhere or this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah, it's a much more controlled environment. But, you're probably wondering to yourselves, why in the world would we be bringing this up if we were supposed to be talking about a show? Well, there's a very good reason, because in his effort to promote the book, Buddha will actually be at Toys for the Ages this year. He will be a guest there. He will have copies of the book. He will be signing those copies of the book. He is prepared to talk with you about all things Thundercats. So if you're in the local area and if you're a Thundercats fan, number one, you need this book.
Yes.
But number two, this is an enormous opportunity for you to meet the author, talk with him, discuss things with him. He is a very, very open guy. We absolutely love him.
Oh, we love him. I mean, within the first hour and a half, we ended up working with him on one project that I feel turned out really, really well as far as our work goes with Buddha.
Yeah. He's just an out-and-out great guy. Normally, he is there as partnered up with our friends at the BOD, but they actually gave him his own space as a guest this time. So just a great show and a really fantastic thing. So I highly recommend checking it out. Here's all the information on the show. I'm going to put it up there. There's the date, there's the times, there's the prices. By all means, folks, we hope to see you there.